County Commission work session for March 3rd to order. Sheriff Eads, would you mind leading us in prayer?
Father, thank you for another good day. Thank you for our family, for your many blessings. Thank you for watching over us. Be with this group, Lord, and help them as they make important decisions for the county, and be with us all. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Everyone stand for the pledge.
With allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, call roll, please.
Mr. Simpkins?
Here.
Mr. Ledger?
Here.
Mr. McElwain?
Here.
Mr. Beatty?
Here.
Mr. Dawson?
Here.
Ms. Spicer?
Here.
Mr. Buckner?
Here.
Mr. Britt?
Here.
Petty?
Here.
Mr. Williams?
Here.
Mr. Grove? Cindy, Ms. Gray? Sorry.
Mr. Grove couldn't be with us tonight. His daughter, I think, it's senior night somewhere, so he's taking care of that, which is more important than what we're doing. So we appreciate him letting us know that. First order of business is approval of the minutes of the February 3rd, 2025 work session. Open the floor for a motion. Motion by Commissioner Petty, second by Commissioner McElwain. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed? Thank you. Item number 2 is committee reports. Commissioner Simpkins.
Yes, the Ag Committee met last Tuesday night, wasn't it? Miss Allison's here tonight with us. She's brought the newsletter with us tonight to kind of give you an idea of what goes on. And we're always amazed at how much they can accomplish in a few months' time. We meet on a quarterly basis, and it's really amazing what they accomplish. And our new members were there. One was there for the whole meeting. One got there kind of at the end of the meeting. But anyway, it looks like we got a full board to do what we need to do. And we're thankful for them. And Ms. Allison, if you'd like to speak or let us know anything, go right ahead. If you're not, if anybody's got any questions for her after the meeting, she's there. Thank you.
Thank you. You sure you don't want to speak? Okay. Wow. You're always welcome. Is there any other committees to report? Seeing none, next order of business is new business. The first is budget amendment, all funds except schools. Mr. Hall is not with us tonight. He is on an extended vacation. We're jealous of him for that reason, but I get to do his job for him tonight. What we're asking for on this, as you may recall, we did there were some grants that we got through the state of Tennessee that benefited Van Leer, the Sylvia, Tennessee City Pond, and the Water Authority Dickson County. Those were probably approved about 18 months ago. It's to the point now where the funding's coming through. We have a match on that we have to pay. Just very little of the work's been done, but I think they're moving in that direction. We have our first invoice come in. Our match is $8,000, but we've looked at it, and between now and the end of the fiscal year, we don't feel like there would be any more than $100,000 that needs to pay out on our match. So what we're asking for on this amendment is take $100,000 from fund balance. We have a new dedicated fund that just goes to these grants to pay our match. And to recall, we were paying the matches of Van Leer and Sylvia, Tennessee City Pond. The Water Authority was paying their own match because they're a little more financial stability than the other two. But we were glad to get these grants. We were paying 10% and they're getting 90% grants. So what I'm looking for is a motion to move this, to amend the budget, and move that on to regular session. Motion by Commissioner McElwain, second by Commissioner Beatty. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed? Thank you. Second item, and also from Mr. Hall's amendment to purchase policy. I laid a sheet out on your desk. It's the front page of the purchase policy. The auditors required us to add this additional language in here. It's with this portion that's highlighted in gray, where it says it should be noted no employee, officer, or agent of Dickson County may participate in the selection, award, or the administration of a contract supported by a federal award if he or she has real or apparent conflict of interest in the selected vendor. All contracts with existing or potential suppliers in regards to the acquisition of goods and services are to be made by purchasing. So it's something we already do. That's just something they wanted inside our purchasing policy. So to amend that, we need a motion to move that on to regular session. Motion by Commissioner Ledger, second by Commissioner Buckner. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed? Thank you. Item number 3 is EMA State Fire Marshal Grant. Mr. Fisher.
Mayor. Our office applied for and has been awarded a grant through the State Fire Marshal's Office for $31,500. This is a 100% match style grant where we purchase the equipment and the state reimburses us those funds. And this grant is for air packs and air pack type equipment that we have to use for our firefighting activities.
Is that, what is our match? Is there?
There is no match. It's
100% grant. You had us at free, so thank you. Elon Musk could not get this one back.
He will not get this one back.
All right, good. We'll open the floor for a motion. Motion by Commissioner Spicer, second by, thank you, Commissioner Petty. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed? Thank you. Next is EMA Homeland Security Grant. Mr. Fisher.
This is the annual Homeland Security Grant that we apply for every year. This one also is a 100% reimbursement style grant. This one is for $19,481.46. Again, we purchase the equipment and send in the invoices and the state reimburses those funds.
Thank you. Open the floor for a motion. Motion by Commissioner McElwain, second by Commissioner Beatty. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed? Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Fisher. Mr. Fisher's in on his day off too, by the way. Item number 5 is speed limit on Johnny Hall Road. Commissioner Gray.
Yes, we had many requests for this and the sheriff has done a speed study survey on that. So I'd like to hear what he has to say.
Okay. We conducted a 10-day study on Johnny Hall. Johnny Hall runs from Kathy Hollow to Saunders Mill. It's a little over a mile, and it kind of meanders across that ridge. And there's 27 houses, big lots, but there are 27 houses, and I think there's one under construction as well out there. So the study showed us, as you remember, we'll go back to the 85th percentile. One direction was 31 miles an hour and the other is 29 miles an hour. With the speed limit of 45, there were only 4 speeders exceeding 45, but the bulk of the traffic, 85% of them are right at the 30 mile an hour. It doesn't have a lot of shoulder on it. And like I say, it kind of meanders with several curves. And it's almost more like a city street. I'd recommend, based on the data, setting the speed for 30. Because like I say, that's a lot of houses on a mile stretch. So I think it would be good with the 30.
Commissioner Gray, is that your motion?
It is.
Thank you. Motion by Commissioner Gray to have a second. Second by Commissioner Williams. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed? Thank you. Thank you, Sheriff.
Wait, somebody lost the earring. So oops. Is it yours? I'll lay it right there.
He'd look like Mr. Clean with an earring on. Next item of business, economic housing development. We laid a letter on a lot of your desks last week, but then we found out that maybe we didn't. So I wanted to put those back out there again. That's a letter from the Commissioner of Economic Development. It's speaking of the issues we have here in our community with housing and about it being us being challenged in housing. So one thing we've been working on for quite some time was coming up with a Economic and Housing Development Corporation of Dickson County. What this would be, it would be very similar to our Industrial Development Board, but it would incentivize housing, mainly aimed at moderate income, working income families to help them get into homes that would that they can afford, that they can work in our community. The tax increment financing that we're working on for the town of Burns right now, where they're building a neighborhood which is not a affordable home living, but it's helping build a road. I think you're all aware where it's building Old East Side Road, and we're using tax money to build that road. The tax money we're using is the increased value from the sales of the property. And so we were able to do that, but we had to manipulate a lot of things to get that done. So this is helping us by setting this up this way. We can take on just not industry, but this allows us to do retail, commercial, and housing. So it gives you a more broad reach. It'd be set up almost identical to Industrial Development Board. When we approve this, we would end up appointing a board on that, just like we do Industrial Development Board, because they offer tax incentives, so it has to be at arm's length away from what county government does. We can't do it ourselves. We have to appoint an independent board. But that's the general gist of it right there. Our attorney, Brian Reagan, has done a lot of work on it. We've had to use an outside attorney. He's gotten some help on. Is there anything you'd like to add to this?
No, I think tonight really in moving it to the regular meeting is just the starting point for that, because in order to form it, if you vote to move this to the regular meeting, then what will happen between now and the regular meeting is there's going to be what's referred to as an application that will be provided. And again, it's more technical, but it's just a simple form that says there's an application to form this. And then at the next meeting, based on that application, you would be voting to approve the county to move forward with having a charter filed to create it to be able to move forward with that structure.
Do you have any questions on this? Yes.
Is this different than like Section 8 housing? I mean, would this not be that?
No, the Section 8 housing is done by independent individuals. This is done for incentives for building larger units or neighborhoods. It would be like what the Industrial Development Board does with the industry. The idea is to incentivize things that improve the community. You know, in theory, not that this new board could, but the Industrial Development Board could do an incentive for a business that has low investment and minimum wage, but we don't do that because that's not the kind of business we're trying to attract. And same in housing. We're trying to get housing that's affordable for our workers, but not a Section 8 housing. They go back to what individual owners do. And I don't think they're actually doing a lot of that now, is my understanding, with the federal government. So no, that's not what this is. Thank you. That's a good question. Yes.
Would the county also be able to do this in all the cities located in the county?
Yes.
Okay.
It'd be just as the Industrial Development Board does.
Okay.
Be a county-wide board. Any other questions? We'll open motion to move this on to the regular session. Motion by Commissioner Petty, second by Commissioner Williams. Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed? Thank you. Under other business, the only thing I have to report is we apparently lit quite a firecracker for 6 weeks ago whenever we had that off the cuff conversation about sober living facilities. I think if you've, I'm not much of a Facebook reader anymore, but I have people send me a lot of stuff. So apparently that's been a hot topic out there. So between that and standing next to Ukraine, that's all I see when I'm wishing you happy birthday and liking your baby pictures. But when it comes to this, it's, we've getting a lot of cooperation. There was a meeting about a week and a half ago in Representative Mary Littleton's office. Mr. Reagan, represented us there. He had a lot of good input on it. The city was obviously there because they had a lot of these issues are occurring inside the city of Dickson, but we're very pleased that Representative Littleton is putting together a bill to take this on. She's working with Senator Jackson, who represents Jackson. Makes it easy to remember because this is not just a local problem. This is a statewide problem. Representative Martin out of Hamilton County has also gotten a bill out there on this. So when we had a county mayor's meeting about 2 weeks ago, I talked a little about what was going on in Dickson County, and this is a bigger problem, but we're at the tip of the spear here in Dickson County about doing something about this. So we're hopefully Representative Littleton will have some legislation prepared and within the next week or so and have it entered where it can be a discussion item at the state legislature. As we know, the frustration that we all have is that counties are a creation of state government, so our authority goes no further than what the state of Tennessee allows us to have. In a similar fashion, it's true with the city. Even though they file their own charter, they're still restricted on the length and breadth of what they can do by the state legislature. But we're asking the state, like they do on many things, to pass that authority down to us for licensing, so we can take a look at these and do reviews and inspections to make sure that what's going on in our community is being handled safely and appropriately. After that's done, our next step will be go to our federal representatives, senator and congressmen, to have them look at the Federal Housing Act that these type facilities are hiding behind right now to move into neighborhoods. So it's really difficult, but I appreciate I've gotten a lot of input from many of y'all on this, a lot from the community, and I really appreciate again Representative Littleton taking this lead on this to get it before the state legislature. Be glad to answer any questions or have any discussion y'all would like to have. Hearing none, is any other business come from the commissioners or any announcements? Yes. Yes, sir.
Told, where the old courthouse, what are we doing over there?
That's part of that long-term process of rehabilitating it. That's something we had in the budget this year. What we're working on right now is taking the mortar out, repointing, I think is the cool term to call that, the brick to fix the roof and trying to get the leakage problem down. As you notice, we had to cut the two large cedar trees on the front corner. The root ball was eating into the foundation, which was causing a lot of the leakage. So that project you're watching now that has the scaffolding and fencing up, they started on February 17th, and they have until August 17th to finish. We worked that deadline with them because Charlotte has their festival, I think somewhere first week or two of September. So the work on that should be done, and if we have money in this upcoming budget we're putting together, we'll start doing the interior work on that. I'm also reaching out to some different groups about doing the work on the outside of the jailer's house, similar to what they're doing on that, so we can stabilize those buildings. And as the county has money over the next 3 or 4 years before it's for that courthouse is 200 years old, maybe we'll have it up to date, nice and ready to go for a bicentennial celebration on that. Thank you for asking. Scaffolding and fencing usually gets a lot of people's attention. Next most scary things, lab coats and clipboards. I'm sorry, I was in the hospital not long ago. Any other questions? Any announcements? Hearing no announcements, final announcement will be the next work session meeting will be on April the 7th, April 7th, 2025 at 7 p.m. in the Buford L. Booty Reed Jr. County Commission Chamber of the Dickson County Administration Building, Forecourt Square, Charlotte, Tennessee. To have a motion second adjourn. Boom. Thank you.